Guys, share this video with family and friends. Please also like, comment, and subscribe. This is a secret. And I'm going to let you guys in on a secret about life. So, your life. Your life is a lie. It's a lie. Your life is an illusion. Your life is virtual. It's not real. If you take out the F out of life, you get lie, because your life is a lie. But you think that it's real, but you do not do the actual thinking. It's your brain that tells you that this existence is solid and sound. That's your brain telling your spirit that. Okay? And so let's continue to move on. Share this video, guys. So here's the brain, right? Here's the brain. The brain is inside of the head. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy, as you can see, here's his head, and here's his brain. You know what I'm saying? That's the brain, okay? All right, and this, like I said, here's the guy. Your brain, guys, listen. The arrow points to the brain. Your brain is telling the spirit inside of the brain. So let me draw the brain over here, another brain. And you see that circle? I'm going to color this brain in. This is a brain too. On the left and right hand side, it's both brains. They are both brains. But the brain on the right hand side that I'm coloring in, I want to make this brain solid black. And I want to leave a space in the middle, because that space is the spirit. That white space that you see here where the arrow is pointing at, that is what you call the spirit. The spirit. Okay. And so the brain, as you can see, here's the brain. The brain is actually the blackness. So the blackness represents the brain, but the white part inside of the brain is the spirit. And your brain is telling your spirit, that this reality that you are experiencing, your brain is lying to your spirit, telling your spirit that it's real, and it's not. Now, the greatest test ever is that your spirit must be able to know for itself that this reality is not real. Your spirit, which is inside of the brain, because the spirit occupies the brain, that's where the spirit dwells. That's why the head is the hottest place on your body. The head is the hottest part on your body. Why? Because the spirit dwells inside of the brain. Some may call it the pineal gland. You ever heard of that? Or the pineal gland, which is known as the seat of the soul. So, guys, let's draw a front view of a face. Like I said, I'm not a great artist at all, but this is a front view. And here's the brain here inside of the head. There's the brain, and here's the eyes. Alright, there's the brain, and those are the eyes. Once again, they got that little white spot, as you can see, and I'm coloring in the brain. The brain is the black spot, and the white spot in the center of the brain is what you call the spirit. And some may call this, like I said, some may call that white spot the spirit. Some may call it the pineal gland or something like that. Pineal gland, which is the seat of the soul. And that's actually that white spot. Now, do not let your brain con your spirit. And so when we think about that, the reason why I say do not let your brain con your spirit, because the brain lies all the time. You didn't know that? The brain lies all the time to the spirit. And it does it on a daily basis, but you just not aware of it. So the brain lies all the time to the spirit. And what it's doing, it got you thinking, it got your spirit thinking that the houses are real, the trees are real. It got your spirit thinking that the sun is real. You know, the cars are real. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's a little nice little car with some wheels on it. The trucks are real. The cars are real. The people are real. That's what your brain, it deceives your spirit, and it have your spirit thinking these things. People are real. You know, the environment are real. You know, it's just the things that surrounds you. Your brain is trying to con your spirit and tell your spirit that it's real, but it's not. You see? Now, many people may be aware of this and many people may not be aware of it. But if you are aware that this reality, if you are aware that this is a virtual reality and that this world that we live in, you know, you have, you know, however the world is, I'm just, you know, however the world may be, y'all get what I'm, this is just a picture of the world. And if you think that this world is real, it's not. It's a cooked up, simulated environment to test you, to see can you pass, to see can you show yourself to stand and be eligible when you are judged by the almighty power, God. And so, just imagine this. Just imagine this, because I said, why do you think that everyone have a brain? You cannot live here without a brain. That brain is nothing but to test you, really to test your spirit to see if your spirit can figure out. It's like this. Here's a room, right? So let's draw a room, okay? Here's a room. And like I said, I'm not good with artwork, guys, but you get what I'm doing. So here's a room, right? We know that a room, here's the door, right? There's the door. You walk into the room. Here's the floor. That's the floor of the room. You see what I'm saying? So here's the door, and then in the room you have the ceiling or whatnot. Here's the ceiling in the room. You know how the ceiling goes. That's the ceiling in that room, and here's the walls in that room. You see what I'm saying? Let's take part off right here, and let's go right there. There's the floor. The floor go all the way across the room, right? And so that's better. So here's a room, right? Now, this is how life is. This is how it works. I'm trying to show you guys a very rare video. Please share it. So inside of this room, there's this entity or this almighty power inside this room. This is what I'm drawing right here. I want you guys to see it very good. Inside this room, you see, there's this entity or this almighty. I'm going to say God. So right here, I put G-O-D. That's God. Inside this room is God. Now, what else is inside this room? You are human beings. And on this side, I'm going to draw you. Okay? So you are also in this room. And another that's in this room, let me change colors. Another that's in this room is in the middle. It's an electronic fighting dummy with some gloves on. So here's his fighting gloves. This is an electronic fighting dummy, as you can see. Electronic fighting dummy. Alright, as you can see. And there's his gloves, right? And you, as of a human being, you also have your gloves on, okay? And you're fighting. You're fighting. You have your gloves on, right? Let's go back, okay? And you are fighting. And so right here, let me point things out. Let me draw a line. This is you, the human being. This is, what did I say? This is the fighting dummy. This is the fighting dummy. And over here is who you would call God, right? As you can see, G-O-D. Okay, so to make him stand out, I'm going to put like a green aura around him. And that's who you call God. Or some may call the Most High. And so in this room, guys, you have the Most High, the dummy in the middle, and you as an actual human being. Now, we know usually when you go into a room contains what? Lights. A room contains lights, right? A light bulb, right? That's what a room contains. It illuminates the room to allow you to see in the room. On the other hand, what if you was put into a room and the room itself, wait a minute, let me explain the room. The room itself, the whole entire room that you see here, this room represents your reality. This room represents your reality. Okay? And we all been put into this room. We all been put into this room, whether this room is small or whether this room is medium or large. Your reality can be small, medium, or large in terms of you being born in poverty. You know, you live in a typical life, a average life, and you live in an extraordinary life. So this room can be small, medium, or large. It just depends. But it is, in general, a room, which is your reality. You've been put in this room, and you don't even realize in the same room there is the Most High God that placed this dummy in this room to test you. But what makes it difficult is this. The room, if the lights was on in the room, you can see the dummy, that you'll notice the dummy that it's not real. You'll say this is an electronic dummy and it's not real. Now, but this is the hard part. This is what the Most High does. He don't let you know that the dummy is fake. He don't let you know that the dummy is electronic. He don't let you know that. You know why? Because you can't detect it anyway. Because in this room, there is no light to illuminate the room. There is no light so you can see. There's no light. All you know in this reality that you're living, all you know is that you're getting punched, you're getting hit from the right to the left, cross, uppercuts, you're getting kicked and everything else. And you're fighting. You're fighting in this room. You can't see anything. You know why? Because the room doesn't have lights for you to see. And so God sets up this electronic dummy to test you, to see, can you detect if it's real or not. You can't do that with the lights off in a dark room. So this room that you're fighting this dummy in the inside of, this room is totally black. Now, I'm going to do it like this. I'm doing it like this, guys. Let's up this size a little bit. Let's get it. Now imagine this right here. Imagine this. Imagine this. This is the end of this video. I hope you guys have learned something, and I hope you guys share this video and wake up other brothers and sisters about this virtual reality, because it's not real. It's not real. It's just a test to test you to see if you're going to be eligible to pass this virtual simulation. Now, as you can see, now everything is dark because the room, this is the room that you're in. This is how it is. I'm just showing you how it is today, how things are today. And so all this blackness, just imagine all this blackness, guys. Imagine all that blackness. You can't see a damn thing, and you are in this room. You're in this room, and this lesson has come to an end point, okay, a declining point. And I want to leave you with this, guys. Okay, so I said all that to say this. Okay, imagine, you in this room. This how reality is. You in this room. You can't see anything, but just know Remember what the room looked like before I darkened it. Remember what the room, all this that you saw before I cut off the lights. Remember what the room looked like before I darkened it. And just remember, inside of this dark room, which is the reality that you're going through, there is the Most High God. He's there. You don't see him, and I know you can't see him. You're probably saying, I never seen God. Remember what I told you, because the lights are off. This is a dark room. He's not going to show you himself. God is not even, I can't even limit God to a person. He's just a supernatural, unexplainable power. He's in this dark room. And remember, what else is in that room? There's a dummy in that room. But the dummy is not real. It's an electronic fighting dummy that's fighting you to test you. And you're fighting it back. Now, some may go through this reality and they may think that they are hitting an actual person in the dark room. They may think that they are fighting an actual person in the dark room. To all of a sudden, the lights get cut on. The lights get cut on. And that light is what you would call death. See this? Death. So when you die, the light comes on in the room. The light comes on in the room now. You're dead. Whether you got hit by a truck, whether you got shot in your head, whether you died of sickness, whether you died of old age. You died. You're dead. And when you die, you ever notice that vortex of light that comes to visit you? They call it that vortex of light. That bright light that comes. That's the light that's being cut on. And when you die, you take your very last breath, brothers and sisters, in terms of death. The light comes on in that room. And when the light comes on in that room, wait a minute. When that light comes on, let me move down here. When that light comes on in that room, this is what you're going to see. This is exactly what you're going to see when that light comes on in that room. You're going to see the Most High God. You're going to see the test that you went through, which is the electronic dummy. That was to test you. And last but not least, your spirit is going to be standing before the great Creator. And you're going to realize that everything around you was a test. And the dummy that you was fighting wasn't even real. It was an illusion. And your brain was telling your spirit that it was real, until your spirit evacuated from the brain. And when it did that, causing the lights to be cut on, and you realize you was being put through a test by God. That's what this is all about. That's what this existence is about. That's what this reality about. A test. To test you to see where you stand. So remember, you always are in a dark room fighting this dummy. Many of us think this dummy is real. We fall in love with this dummy. We think this dummy is real. But a lot of us, which are the chosen, we know that we are being put through a test. So share the video.